Hi guys, welcome back. I am Stu and this is Whispering Cliffs for Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic. Develop the seaside cliffs into a thriving amusement park. Your objective, to achieve a park value of at least 200,000 at the end of October, year 3. Exciting! So we've got a goal that we haven't seen for quite some time, and we've got a very, very small and awkward park to play with. So let's have a look then. Free entry, we're charging for the rides, so that's the land we've got to build on. We've got no building rights there, so let's see then, what rides do we have? Wrong one. Got a train and cable car. Probably won't be using them because they don't really add much value. Gentle rides, again, probably won't be using much of these because we're looking for value. Although, given how narrow the area is, something like a Ferris wheel could be useful. Not many roller coasters then. These guys here, they've got the nice tight bend, so they'll be useful. They won't add, I don't think they'll add a great deal of value, but they will bring in the money, so we'll be looking to use them. Not much in the way of thrill rides. The twist, let's see, we could probably put one underground. That would save us some space. Like, I'm looking at this bit by here, that might be handy. Put one underground here and then have the, but let's have a look then. Water rides, we've got a lot of water, but to be honest, given the pain of putting a path all the way down, and the space it'll take up, that space that could be better used with roller coasters. And some shops then. So we got food, we got drink, we got a kiosk, we got a toilet. What more could you need? So have a guess what I'm going to do. I'm going to go all in on roller coasters because they are the ones that are going to add the most value to the park, and we need some better coasters if we're going to do this. So I think what I'm going to do first then is I'm going to get rid of the paths, because the paths that are down are a bit awkward, and I'm going to want to put them closer to the edge. Maybe move them in one, and then I can use this the tile on closest to the fence. That can be for shops, and then have the path going up where this tree is now. Sorry tree, we're gonna have to get rid of you. Not a happy little tree. And go all the way up and build whatever rides we've got. We're gonna need to get money in, so let's see what's the money situation. 20,000, that's not a great deal. So the first step then, get rid of the paths. Second step, move the paths in, put some shops down, and then start building some rides. We'll probably use the Ferris wheel and a twist, and then we're going to start building some coasters. Did we have, yeah, we've got one of them, observation tower, so we can always make that tall, and then we can put the money right up for that. And then other than that, it's just use the coasters that we've, the mouse and the Virginia reel, because we can make a lot of money off them. And then we can use that money to build whatever roller coasters we unlock. So really, wooden ones are probably the ones that are going to add some of the best value. But we've got it is quite a large space. I mean, we can fit, there's no reason why we can't get about 10 roller coasters in here, even if they're just simple, a case of station on the edge, going down and then back up. Yeah, so I'm going to crack on with the building, and I will see you in a bit. It is October year 1, so we got rid of the paths, and I'm only concentrating on this side of the park. So we've got a few shops there, and then we came up, we built the Ferris wheel because it's quick and simple and it fits nicely in on that side. Then we came up, we've got the twist underground because it fitted in nicely. It adds another ride, so we had 2 rides very quickly. That helped bring the guests into the park. Then we went and built a wild mouse, so we got good excitement, high intensity, but it's good excitement. So we're charging 10 for that. At some point they are going to get fed up of paying 10 for that, so I'll drop the price down, probably drop it down to 7 and then eventually 5. And then up here then we've got observation tower. So because it's so tall, we've got high excitement for that, so we're charging, what are we charging for that? 5, and they're paying it as well. And then we've got a Virginia reel there. So initially when I built it, it came back low excitement. It was about 2. I think where these 2 bends are here, initially it came down, it went right and back along. So I looked at it, and the length of it was probably around 900 feet. So I then extended it by adding this little section here. That's boosted it to over 1,000, and it boosted the excitement up to over 6 as well. So there does seem to be a minimum length requirement on this coaster in order. And there's a bit of a graphic glitch there. There's a tree floating through. A minimum length requirement in order to get a good excitement for that. But that's bringing the money in, so we're up to 6,000 a month now. Then I use the money then to build this wooden coaster. Just goes, there you go, you've got a little chain left. So we got the station right on the edge, little chain left, down over the hump with the photo section to get a few more coins out of their pockets, around the bend, through underground. And that's just to get the corner, because we needed to get back up to the station. And I was able then to go around the drop then. So that acts as like a head chopper element. So on a real coaster you will have sections where it goes through under the tracks and through the supports and things like that to make it more exciting. Another head chopper element there, and then back to the station. So we got good excitement for that. Charging £10 a go. Guests are loving it. They're paying. So what we're going to do now, we've just unlocked something quite exciting, quite useful. What was it? It was vertical drop roller coaster, which would be ideal for this sort of terrain, because you've got the straight drops and then you've got the very steep lifts as well. So we can we fit one there? Maybe we could fit one there underneath that bit of path, dropping down, even if it just goes down, maybe in and out of the cliffs and back up. We could probably get another one here. There's a lot of sick on the paths, but the scenario doesn't care about that. Doesn't care about rating or guests. As long as we got enough guests in to ride the roller coasters and make us money to build more, then that's fine. So we could build another one at least there. After that, then I'll probably look to expand over to this side, and then there's loads of space over there. We're currently on company value of 110,000. The goal wants 200,000. So we're halfway there. Although we do have to bear in mind that as the rides age, they will depreciate in value. So whatever this wooden coaster is worth now, it is going to be worth a bit less next year, and it's going to be worth a bit less again the year after. So what we're going to need to make sure is that we're not only do we achieve the 200,000, we hammer it. That way then we've got a nice buffer for depreciation. So I'm going to carry on building, and I'll see you at the end of year 2 for a review. It is October year 2, so we're doing well then. We've beaten the goal already. Obviously we have to wait another year before it registers. So as long as we don't do anything stupid, we should be fine. So I've built 2 vertical drop roller coasters. So we got this one here, good excitement, and this one here, good excitement. Charging 10 for both of them. Had to drop the price of the Virginia reels. I've also themed them all as well. I've given them the jungle theming, but I think it does kind of look like maybe like beach shacks with maybe some seaweed on there as well for good measure. So yeah, back earlier in year 2 then I noticed the guest numbers weren't really improving, so what I did was I decided to build all these flat rides up here. So what that did was that brought all the guests in. So we're quite busy now. We don't need high guest numbers, but the more guests we have in the park, the more guests we have riding our expensive roller coasters, which means our ride income is shooting up. If you look at the shop sales there, 5,700 It rained in September year 2. That was the first time I believe it's rained so far. So I had my umbrellas up to 20, which is something we tried to do on Bumblebee Bazaar, but it didn't rain. But it did rain here, so we must have made about 4,000 just from, let's have a look at this one kiosk. 102 umbrellas sold just for this one kiosk, and that at £20 each. That's a lot of money just for that one. So all we need to do then in year 3 is just build some roller coasters. We can get at least one here. This will be a nice quick one, maybe a junior coaster or something, just down and along, and then we can build a few more off here. What have we got? We have got stand up, we've got one of them, we've got one of them. The guests will love them. So yeah, so we should be able to get at least 3, maybe more roller coasters in, and that should see our park value shoot up. We are going to lose a little from depreciation, but there's no reason why we can't pass this. I've paid the loan back as well. That's how much money we're making. So I'm going to crack on with the building, and I will see you this time next year where we complete the park. It is September year 3. We have got a park value of 267,000. The goal was for 200,000, so we're good to go. We have passed. I've had a lot of fun building this park. It was quite challenging with the building the coasters, but that really added to the fun, I think. So what did we do then? We came in, we got rid of all the paths that were there. There was a path heading down one way and the other, so got rid of them, and I built the path leading up with a 1 tile gap between the path and the side fence. That gave us enough room to put some shops and Ferris wheel. Just underneath here then we built a twist, so having a couple of little flat rides there, and that meant that we were able to get a few guests into the park ready for when we started building the coasters, because it's the coasters that are the high value items. They're the ones who are going to help you pass the scenario. We've got this one here, mouse, a wild mouse, or as I've called it, a seagull. So you have to be wary of the seagulls pooing on your head or stealing your sandwiches or your ice creams. No trip to the beach is complete unless you've had to fight a seagull for your lollipop. So good excitement on this one. I thought I really enjoyed these roller coasters, so just start the video a little bit earlier than normal, just so we can have a watch of some of them going about their trips. So then we carried on, then built a Virginia reel. So this one here, Siren's Call. Good excitement on this. So it goes around and about. Let's turn off supports to help you see it better. So trick with these, don't get them going too fast. They don't really need to go. Let's have a look. So fast it's going. There you go. It's the corners that add the spins. So when you turn right, it turns one way, and when you turn left, then it turns another way. So ideally you want to try and have as many of the same corners as possible to get them spinning more. So a few right-handers, then a few left, and it's not always practical, especially on a tight space like this. After that then, the money started rolling in. We were charging £10 a go for those, so we built this wooden coaster here. Oh, and it's just leaving the station. Good timing. So there's a brake at the top. That just holds on to it a bit, so it stops it going down the hill that too fast. Up over there, through the photo, down, around the corner, then underground. That just helps make the corner, and then you've got a brake there, block brake, and then chain lift back up to the station. Guests loving that. Let's have a look. Favourite rides. Favourite ride, Seagull. Favourite ride is 73 guests. Siren's Call. Favourite ride of 108 guests. So that's the favourite so far. What's this one? Sandstorm. 68. Siren's Call is the favourite so far. After that then, we expanded then onto this side of the park, and the amount of guests in the park wasn't huge, so I built a load of flat rides. So let's have a look. It's dipped slightly, but it did rocket up. I think it went from around 400 to 500 up to over 1,000, just through the addition of the flat rides. And having all those extra guests, whilst it doesn't count towards the park's goal, it does mean we've got more guests in the park that can ride on the high ticket items, the roller coasters, etc. So they added a ton of money to the park. So we've been making some good money. So we've paid back the loan. We've got more money than sense now. So that makes it easier to build the roller coasters. Just down here then, it might look like a really, really bad maze, but this is actually the mosh pit. There's no music, so unfortunately we'll have to make our own music. They're loving it. Look at them. There you go. And that was the new EP from Cannibal Motorcycle Zombie Apocalypse, out now on all good music shops. And then we got a junior coaster, so this one is Driftwood. Good excitement on that. Favorite ride of only 23 guests. Okay, so let's, where is it? Where's the train in the station? Let's have a watch then. Is it? There you go. Let's get it out and about. So bit cramped for space. I didn't want to go with these. You can't have the supports too high, so you have to keep them on the ground. So we were limited as to what we've got. So we got a little dip then, and then the main chain lift. I like the way that on these coasters you see the guests are going to the back. So obviously the back of the coaster is where the ride's going to be at its fastest, where it sort of pulls, where the front is pulling you along, and then back. Junior coaster. So the good thing about junior coasters is if you make it really exciting, you can brag that you've made a really exciting junior coaster. If it's not very exciting, you can just say then, oh well, it's a junior coaster, it's something for the children, so it's win-win. And then after that then built this stand up. We got a little food section down there just to get a few extra pounds in the pocket. Got a stand up coaster here. So just wait for it to clear. As soon as this one clears, that chain lift, it will come. There you go, straight down, up over the bump, down into the cliff, through the loops. Now stand-up coasters are very fast. They're very, very intense. So it doesn't really matter if it's too fast. I did experiment with some brakes. I had a brake just here and then another one up here just to slow it down through the loops. So let's see the speed then. But it didn't really matter. It didn't change the excitement. It didn't reduce the intensity, because by their nature they're intense anyway. So this one is called Atlantronaut training. So in order for us to send Atlantronauts to Atlantis, they have to go through the training. So that's pretty cool. Favorite ride, only 22. That doesn't mean it's a bad ride. It just means that there's obviously something else out here which is the guest's favorite. I wonder what it could be. Let's have a look. We have got a mine ride just under here. Cliff Miner. So let's see. Oh, there you go. It's coming out now. No, it's into the station. Let's have a look then. Good stats. Favorite ride of 44 guests. Here you go. Doesn't go too fast. It just goes in and out to the cliffs and then back down. So with this one, I first put the station there and then I went down. So we've got the station underground inside the actual cliffs. And then we can use the paths then to go over the other rides under that one, so it helps with the interactions with the rides. Only a few days to go now, and then we got this one then. So my plan always was to finish off with a big wooden coaster. We've got a small one there, but have the bigger wooden coaster right at the end, because they're the ones who are going to be high value, probably the easiest to build and high value, so that'll help. Although the park value's gone up, which is oh well, that's probably because we're making more money and whatnot. So let's have a look at this one then. So you've got the queue then going over the first drop, so that helps with the interactions. So we've got the articulated cars. So I like this. It goes up and it comes almost to a stop and then back down. Little chain lift just to help it, just to give it a little nudge along the way. There's an S-bend. I don't like using the S-bends, but it just helps with because it's quite a cramped space. Down through the cliff, back up, runs along the path for all the guests to have a look, back down, in and out of the cliffs, and then back for the final splash. Oh, what perfect timing. There you go. Ooh, I really shouldn't have said perfect timing then, because it would have looked cooler had I not said it. But oh well. Yeah, so that was Whispering Cliffs. What a fun park that was. That was pretty cool. And there's the stats of Tidal Wave, and that's the favourite ride of 224 guests. So let's have a look. Guest favourite. There you go. Yeah, did we look at Kraken? I don't think we did. Did I miss out the... I think I missed out the... I think I missed out Kraken. So it's just going to come out now. Down, back up and around. So it's not going too fast around the bends. Again. Little block break there, just to help the next car go if it's ready. Yeah, so that was Whispering Cliffs. I really enjoyed that level. It's just a shame. It would be nice if maybe when you pass a scenario, it opens up more of the park. So that would be pretty cool. If say for example you've passed a scenario. Oh look, the council are so pleased with the work you've done, they're going to give you all this land, and then that way then you can carry on building. But unfortunately it doesn't. So yeah, that was Whispering Cliffs. I am Stu. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Any questions or feedback, drop them in the comment section, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.